I got 11 more people trying to get in. Let's go ahead and get this. Okay. Admit. Okay, cool. So we're all good. So everyone's coming in now. So, all right, guys. Irma, why don't you take it away?
Beautiful. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Oh my gosh, Amelia, poor Irma. I think I'm okay, you guys. Just go easy on me, okay? Okay, amazing. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and share my screen for you. Give me 1 second. There we go. Cool. Can everybody see my screen okay? Yes. Okay, wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go through a very in-depth walkthrough of all the editing features on the content calendar. So I am notoriously horrible for presenting at the same time as monitoring the comments. So if you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate. Just drop your comments right in the little chat bar at the bottom. Mark is actually going to be monitoring the comments while I present. So you'll get your answer in there. And then at the very end as well, if you do have any additional questions, just feel free. We're going to do a little question and answer session. And then Mark, if there's anything in there where you're like, I need to stop me mid presentation, that's like something important that's been asked, just feel free to unmute yourself and then Mark will just interrupt me and we can kind of go from there. So I'm going to jump right in. This is going to be an advanced editing class. So if you guys are new here, if you haven't already done your onboarding call with Kyle, I definitely recommend scheduling yourself for that. When you're on your calendar, you'll see a little red button down here that says join live training. You can schedule yourself for live training with him. He's going to help you set up your profile questions. He's going to help you set up your integrations, all that good stuff, just to kind of get you rolling. But this is going to be a little bit more advanced than that. That being said, you're not going to, I mean, you're still going to get a ton of value out of this. It's just if you're feeling overwhelmed, don't worry. You can do your session with Kyle and then you can always come back to this. We are going to record this. Everybody's going to get a recording of this at the very end. So you can always come back to it. I do still think that you'll find it valuable. Just know that I am going to skip a lot of the kind of profile setup stuff to go straight into the generations and the editor. And then the other thing we're going to be chatting about today is just all of the new features that we've launched in the past week or two, and then a couple of the features that are coming up. So like Mark mentioned, Canva, which we're really, really excited for. And I think that's it. So yeah, ask any questions and we'll go from there. So I have the content calendar opened up here. If you guys are also logged in on your own calendars right now, you'll see kind of something similar if you've generated content. So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to head to the topic/theme bar. So when you get to your content calendar, you're going to go ahead. It's going to be empty like this. And you can either type in your own topic that you want to talk about, or you can click here to suggest topics. Now, the AI is going to take your profile questions and the information that you've already fed it, and it's going to give you some options of things that you can chat about. These are going to be very real estate heavy. I think they're great for if you can't think of anything. I always recommend to our users, though, I mean, you guys know your clients the best. You know what types of conversations you're having. You know your location the best. You know pain points. I always recommend try coming up with your own topics just for fun. You know, why why dog owners love living downtown Austin, why it's dog friendly, you know, my top 5 favorite coffee shops in this city, why this neighborhood is great for people who are active or like to go on long walks or whatever. You guys know the types of conversations you're having. So try to kind of challenge yourself and come up with your own topics. AI will do a good job of giving you a variety, but it's always going to be really real estate heavy. And I think it's also just very important to chat about the things that you are already chatting with your clients about. So you're going to go ahead, you're going to put a topic in. I'm just going to choose just anything here. And then you're going to be able to click to generate. So when you click to generate, you have 2 options here. So you can go ahead and you can just generate regularly. So as some of you may know, most AI models are trained up until a certain date. So it's been fed information up until a certain date. Most of them are until the end of 2023, around there, depending on the model. But you can now, a couple of months ago, I think about 2 or 3 months ago, we launched this ability to generate with web search. So if you're just doing a regular generation, most of you guys, if you are on ChatGPT, you probably have either the free version or the basic version, and it does the trick. You don't really need it to be generating with a web search. But if you're trying to create topics around something that's currently going on in the world, whether it be like the elections or the weather or events or whatever, then you can click to generate with web search. It's actually going to go ahead and it's going to search the web live for any relevant articles. So I usually tell people you're fine with just generate, but if you do want to do a more in-depth search, you can do generate with web search. That being said, when you guys are entering your topic information in here, just be sure to be more specific. So if it is searching the web, it's not going to know if you say, cool trails generate. It's going to be looking online for cool trails. Cool trails where? Where do you live? Events coming up when? So just be very, very specific when you do enter your topics into here. You are then going to click generate, and you're going to get to choose to generate up to 7 days worth of content at a time in one generation. So that doesn't mean that you can only generate 7 days. It doesn't mean that you can only schedule 7 days at a time. It just means that for every generation, you're going to get to generate 7 days. And the reason being is because this is a great topic, steps to take when buying your first home in Austin. There's only so many ways you can really talk about the steps to take when buying your first home in Austin without it getting a little repetitive. So 30 days straight of that same topic probably wouldn't be super interesting. So we allow you to do 7 days at a time. And I always tell people that rather than doing 7 days straight, so a Sunday to a Saturday, I always tell people to do 7 days of the same day of the week. So do 7 Tuesdays of generations. That way you have this topic, a variety of posts about this topic going out, but you have them all spread out 7 days apart. Then the next time you do your generations, do your Wednesdays, then do your Thursdays and do your Fridays, etc. You can also choose which platforms you can generate for. So whichever ones you're connected to and you post the most to. So we've got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter/X, LinkedIn, and you can also generate blogs. So you can choose which platforms you want to generate for. And then we're going to come back to these advanced settings at the very end, just after we go through what each of these things means in the editor. But one of the things I wanted to show you guys just really quick, so this is one of the newest updates. This launched last Friday, is the ability to choose your default posting time. So before this, our generations were always defaulting to noon your time. But we had quite a few of you reach out just asking, hey, what if I want all of my posts to go out at 9 a.m. in the morning, or I want to change them all to 3 p.m. or whatever. You have a specific time you want them to go out. And instead of changing each of them individually, you just wanted them to be generated for a specific time. So now you have that ability to do that. So you can actually go ahead and you can select the time. So let's say you want 7 a.m. and then you can choose which time zone. Once you do that and you go ahead and generate, all of your future generated posts are going to generate with this default posting time. Again, you can change those individually on each of the posts if you want to, but this just makes it a little bit easier if there is a time that you want to post that's outside of noon that you want all of your posts scheduled for. This makes it super, super easy for you. A little side note for that, which I always like to tell people, is that posting times don't matter nearly as much as they did like 10-ish years ago. Your feed is no longer chronological. So that's why when you're on your Instagram or you're on your Facebook and you're scrolling through, you're going to see posts that were posted 5 minutes ago. And then the next post after that was posted 4 days ago. And then the next post after that was posted 7 hours ago. So feeds are no longer chronological. They're all interest based. Don't stress out about, oh my gosh, I need to, figure out the ideal posting time every single day. You're totally fine. Post, see how it does, tweak if you want to tweak it. It's not as big of a stressor as it was years ago before this new interest-based algorithm came out. So then you go ahead and click generate. I'm not going to do that. I've already gone ahead and generated content for us to play with just for the purpose of saving some time. But you guys know what the generations look like. If you're here, you've more likely than not generated posts. So you know the little shimmer comes in, and then we've got our posts that have generated. So I just went ahead and generated Saturdays for us just to kind of play around with. So when you click into your post, you're going to see I've generated for Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And it's gone ahead, it's taken on my colors, all that good stuff. So we're taking a quick look at it, and you'll see that each of the posts that has been generated are this carousel style swipe through informational post. Obviously, with the exception of Facebook, this is something that we just recently launched a new look for in the past maybe 2-ish weeks. Is that Facebook always did more of a photo dump instead of a carousel style swipe through. So now what we've done is we've changed this to be one image that's just optimized, that has a nice little hook on it that talks about whatever your topic is about. And that way it's not a photo dump of a bunch of different words. So that one is going to be one image, but the rest of them are going to be this carousel style swipe through. The reason why we've done these carousels and defaulted to these carousels is because social media really favors carousels and really favors videos. They look at that as kind of high value content that you've spent a lot of time on. So we've defaulted to carousels. However, in this call, I'm going to show you guys how you can go from carousel to a reel, to an individual photo, to uploading your own photo, to creating a little testimonial graphic. We're going to go through all of that. So it's not like you have to post the carousel. The carousel is awesome if you want to post it, you know it's going to do fine, you know you're going to be consistent online, fantastic. But you don't have to only post carousels. You're also going to see as you scroll through that, yes, you are talking about the same topic. So here you're talking about how to paint your front door in a weekend and make your home look fresh and new. So you're talking about that topic for all of your platforms that day. However, each of the captions and each of the words on the slide are going to be different for each platform. So your caption for Instagram is going to be optimized for Instagram. So you'll see more emojis. You're going to see that it's a little more conversational sounding, whereas your Facebook is going to be longer and more informational heavy. And then your LinkedIn is going to be a little bit more professional, and your Twitter is going to obviously be short like a tweet. So they're all optimized. They're completely different. It's not like you have to go in and, create your own captions or anything like that. So the first thing you're going to do here is you're just going to take a quick look. If you want to edit anything about the caption, you can go ahead and click edit caption. We're going to come back to this regenerate caption at the end, but say you just want to remove an emoji or change a call to action or something like that, you can very easily just go ahead and click edit and make the change. Then when you're ready, you can go ahead and head into the template editor. So this is our editor right here. When you open it up, you're going to see as you scroll down, you'll see each individual slide that's in your carousel that's been generated. So keep in mind that absolutely every aspect of this post can be edited. So from the words that are on each of these slides, to your font, to the sizing, to the colors, to your contact information, to your background images, absolutely everything is editable. You can edit it slide by slide, one by one, or you can make edits to the entire set of carousels as a whole. So we're going to go through all of that together. So just remember that down here, each of these is a different slide in your carousel. You can also delete individual slides. So maybe you want to make it a little bit shorter. You just want to make it one. You can very easily do that just by clicking into the little trash can and deleting it. So the first thing you guys are going to see here on the left-hand side are some options that you can choose from. So when you click into presets, you're going to see here that your presets, think of them as kind of like when you're on Canva and you're looking for a template for something. So you're looking for a resume template or a birthday invitation, something like that. This is what a preset is. It's basically just a good starting point for you. The same way you would on Canva when you look up a birthday invitation and you find one that you like, but you have to, you want to tweak the colors or you want to tweak the date, stuff like that. This is just your quick presets, your quick kind of starting points. Now, again, you can use these if you like them. If there's any one of these that you're like, ooh, okay, I like this. I want to use this. Fantastic. Cool. You can totally do that. But I always just try to remind people that these are just a fun starting point. You also have the Reels version of those. So these will load in a second, which again, you can change the colors, you can change every aspect of them, but they're just starting points. And then you have the ability to save your own presets. So we're going to go through this together, but every time you play around with one of your designs, you can click into save preset and save that design so that you can work off of it again in the future. You can use that exact same design, or you can simply, maybe there are aspects of the design that you really liked, like these overlays, but you just want to tweak it very quickly for a future design. You can now just save your presets and go back to them. Then we have our backgrounds. So our backgrounds are all of the images just right here in the back. So as you kind of scroll down, you guys will know that, well, in our emails, every time we kind of send you we've launched new backgrounds email, I think we have like almost 5,000 images now that you can choose from. So as you kind of scroll down, this is just loading all of my uploaded ones. So we'll try to bypass them. Cool. So as you kind of scroll down, you'll see there are a bunch of different options for you guys to choose from to swap into your backgrounds. So everything from different seasons to interiors, exteriors. We've launched the inside of restaurants. We've launched landscapes, people, beaches, bathrooms, a ton of different options for you. And every time we launch, we try to launch them in these kind of packs, so that if you do want to change your background and you want each individual slide to be different, they can still be different, but still match each other. So as you can see, we've got all these really nice kitchens here. So you can click into one to change the background on all of them, or you can click into each individual slide and just very easily swap the background for one of these. And now you've got this really nice carousel that looks like it took you a ton of time to do, but really you just clicked a couple buttons. So now you've got a different background in each of the slides. We're getting somewhere with this. So here we've got a bunch of different options for you guys to choose from as you scroll through. With this, we are actively working on a search feature for this, because one of the biggest pieces of feedback we've gotten from you guys is that the 4,000 images are amazing, but it's just a lot to go through, especially if you have something specific in mind. So right now you can go through it like this using the arrows. So you can find, you know, construction or Dallas or a farm. You can go through it using the arrows, but just know that we are going to be launching a search feature for this very, very soon, which will make your life a lot easier. But in the meantime, you can kind of scroll through and just find whatever image fits the post that you're currently working on. So you have that. You can swap. Swap your background. You can also choose from a reel template. So you can go ahead and click into the reels, and then it'll show you a bunch of aesthetic style B-roll videos. So these are basically short videos that loop between 3 to 7 seconds long. They loop around. So they'll have a nice little hook on them. When they do load, they'll have a nice little hook on them. It's going to be a reel. So it's going to swap your carousel post to a reel. I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to lose this nice little kitchen we have here. But if you do click it, it's going to take on that reel. It's going to have a little nice hook on there, and then you can post it. And as your whoever's viewing your social media, as they're reading your caption, that video is going to loop. That 3 to 7 second long video is going to loop, and every loop is going to count as a view. So that way you can very easily sprinkle in some reels here and there, have some carousels here and there, you know, delete some of the slides and have just one image go out. You have a bunch of different options there. And then we also have the ability to upload. So if you click uploads in the background section right here, you can go ahead and click upload files. You can upload a headshot of yourself. You can upload your logo on a transparent background. You can upload images that you've taken yourself. This is Oliver. I think Oliver is actually in the call right now. It's one of our users. You can upload images of yourself. You can upload stock photo images that you found online. Anything that you're like, oh, you know what? I want to talk about this ice skating event that's going on in town, but obviously that's not in the image library. Okay, that's okay. I'll just find those images online and I'll swap that as the background. It's very, very easy. You can just click upload files. I'm going to actually use Oliver as an example. So if you do upload your own image on a transparent background, so your own headshot on a transparent background, what you can do is you can actually click into this little plus button right on the right-hand side. So you'll see this both on your uploads as well as in the image library. If you click the little plus sign, you can actually turn that image into a sticker, which then you can place anywhere on your design. So let's say we want it down here. We want to put ourselves there kind of in the corner. You can do the exact same thing for your logo. So I'm not sure if I have a logo. I don't know if this one has a transparent. No, it doesn't have a transparent background. Let me see if I have one. There we go. Maybe you have your logo then. You can kind of move it around. You get the gist. So it's fully customizable. You can turn your little uploads into a sticker. The other thing you can do is you can actually right click on the elements in your post. So let me just bring this up here to show you. Of course, my right click isn't listening to me right now. Oh, there we go. So you can actually right click on all of the elements in the post and it's gone again. There we go. You can right click on all the elements of the post and it's going to allow you to bring that element either forwards or backwards. So maybe you want your contact information to lay in front of whatever sticker you've uploaded or behind it. You can just very easily bring yourself forward, backwards. Maybe we want Oliver's head to be over that top overlay. You can bring him forwards. So that little right click, a lot of people don't know about that, but that's a nice little trick to kind of position yourself in your designs. So we're going to just go back. I'm going to remove Oliver super quick. Go. Of course, now my laptop's heating up because I'm sharing and doing this at the same time. Okay, we'll leave Oliver there, but you get the gist. You can delete Oliver just by clicking him and clicking delete. But it's totally customizable. So you guys can do that. The other thing you can do, so I'm going to go back into our images and I'm going to go back into the backgrounds. So let me bypass all my uploads here. Okay, cool. So here are some of the backgrounds that you can choose from. The other cool thing that you can do with these, being that they're stickers, is that you can turn them into stickers, is that you can click the plus button. And in this way, you can create really cool collages. You can expand, you can collapse. Maybe you want this in a corner of your post and then you want to put yourself on the other side. You want to write one of your little reviews on there. The possibilities are really endless with the stickers. So we've got that option. And then the other thing, which I wanted to show you guys before I moved over into the uploads, is that we've recently launched these fun little stickers in the backgrounds under stickers. So if you just search into the sticker, search through the categories and find stickers, you guys are going to find a bunch of these fun little designs now that you can kind of add to your posts as well. So maybe something like that, or for sale, or keys sold. So now we've pre-uploaded these for you guys so that you can add those to your posts as well. Another thing that we are going to be adding very soon is we're going to pull those stickers out and have them be their own separate thing. They're living in the backgrounds right now, just kind of for simplicity's sake. And we just wanted to push something out quickly so that way you guys could have some fun with these. But we do eventually plan on having stickers live in their own area. And we do plan on adding a bunch more to this and more dynamic ones as well. So that way you can change the colors, you can change the font, stuff like that. That will be coming in the future. But for now, we have it here in backgrounds under stickers, but that is definitely on our roadmap for the future. Oh, right before I move, actually, the other thing you can do in backgrounds is this little advanced settings toggle up here. This is another thing that a lot of people don't know about. But what you can do in here is you can actually change the brightness of your background. So you can make it lighter to darker. So again, it just gives you a little bit more flexibility to play with what you want your post to look like. So maybe you want it to be a little bit brighter, maybe you want it to be a little bit darker. Whatever you want, you can just double click it and it's going to apply to all of your slides. The same as the overlays. So right now we've got this overlay here. I'm just gonna make this a little bit smaller. We've got this overlay here, but you can very easily choose any other overlay you would like that you find fits your design best. So let's say we like something like this. Again, overlays also has an advanced settings part. So you can make this lighter or darker. A lot of people don't know about this either, but this just makes it so much more fun because then you maybe you want a more bold look, or maybe you want to alternate. I usually tell people to try to alternate, do some light ones, do some dark ones, just create some variety in your posts just by doing that. So let me see. Perfect. The other thing you guys can do is you can edit your fonts and your sizing. So just by simply clicking on the text like this, you can go ahead and change the font. So where's this one's one of my favorites, Poster. So you can change your font, and then if you like it, you can change just one slide, or you can click up here to apply all and apply those changes to all of your slides. You can choose the alignment, the sizing. Absolutely everything is totally customizable on here. So you can also play around with that. Then we've got our colors. So as you guys probably have already set up, you've probably set up at least one color palette, a main color palette. So looking at this right now, this is one color palette. We've got our white text, we've got our green overlays, we've got a dark accent color. This is awesome. As you scroll down, you'll see that we have a bunch of different color palettes that you guys can choose from, or you can save your own. Now, I always tell people when you're saving a color palette, you're going to put your hex codes in here and you're going to go ahead and click Save Colors. So you're going to scroll down and you're going to click Save As. Every time you click Save As, it's going to save you a new color palette down here, okay? And most people, what they do is they have one color palette and that's all they do, and they're okay with that, and they apply that to all of their designs. Now, my number one tip for the colors is to create as many color palettes as possible, as many different variations. Just come in here, use these little arrows, okay? Shuffle it around, shuffle your colors around. That's cool. Maybe we want to use that in the future. Just go ahead, click Save As. Then let's maybe change our contact overlay color to white, and then our text in here to black. Okay, cool. Let's save that as a color palette. It quite literally takes just a couple seconds just to do a variation of your color palette. And as you scroll down here, you're going to see you have these variations of your color palette that you can choose from in the future. Here's a good example just right in here. I know I have a lot of color palettes on here just because I play around with it a lot, but right here in the middle, you'll see a color palette, and I have what is that? 10 different variations of it, so that way when I'm editing, I can just very easily click through and choose one of the variations without having to manually do it every time. So that couple of seconds it takes you to create a variation of color palettes, to have them saved down here, is going to save you a ton of time in the future, because then all you're going to have to do is come in, change your background if you want to, click through a bunch of different color palettes. Maybe you choose a different overlay. Okay, fantastic. We're happy with it. Save. You're not having to manually go in and select your colors every time. You're just quite literally clicking through variations. And the next thing you can do is you can add your contact information. So as most of you guys already know, this contact information here is totally customizable. Here where it says name, company, email, website, all that good stuff, these are just simply text fields. You can put whatever you want in here. If you are in California and you need to add your DRE number, or if you want to add a call to action or a team name or a recent award you got, whatever. You can add whatever you would like to this little contact information toggle. Another new feature that we just launched last week is we just launched an additional field down here. So we had some people reaching out who were creating really, really long contact cards. So they would have, their team, and that their team, and then their brokerage, and then their location, and then it was getting really, really long. So we just recently added an additional field here for you. So now you have 4 fields total. So you don't have to, if you're on this call right now and you have a really, really long contact form, now you can go back in and you can kind of tweak it to make it a little bit shorter like this. You can also add your headshot or your logo in here, whichever you prefer. And you can change the sizing of it. So whether you want it to be small, medium, large, entirely up to you. This is all totally customizable. Let's say we like that. We can go ahead and click to apply all, and it's going to add those changes to everything. You also have the ability to remove that little background or add it back, just depending on what you want the design to look like. And of course, you can move the contact information around as well. You don't need to have it in the bottom left. You don't even need to have it on your post if you don't want it on your post. It's entirely up to you guys. So that's it for contact information. I'm just going to make sure I'm not missing anything here. Okay, beautiful. So that's it for contact information. The final thing that I want to leave you, or the final 2 things I want to leave you guys with for the editor are, 1, the double click. So if you ever want to make changes that apply to all of your slides, so let's say we want to change the background of all of these slides. Now I've got this coffee cup and I've got all these kitchens, and I'm like, what the heck is going on over here? I want to make a change to all of them. You can actually go ahead. So you can change each individual slide by clicking on it. Or if you double click on the editor, just remember that double clicking is an apply all. So maybe we want this girl, we double click it, she's going to apply to everything. We want the brightness to be darker, we're going to double click the brightness, it's going to apply to everything. Same as the overlays, maybe we want to change the overlays for all of them. We want to change it to this square right here. We're going to double click for all of them, and now they've all changed to the square. The colors, you're going to click apply all. Apply all will change across the board. Same as the text. As I scroll up, your apply all is just right here, and that's going to apply to everything. So just a general rule of thumb, if you're like, how do I get this to apply to everything? Or do I have to do this one by one? You don't. There's always an apply all button. And when in doubt, when you can't find the apply all button, just double click. It's going to apply your changes to everything. And now when you're happy with your design, let's say we really like this, we want to come back to this in the future, we want to maybe apply it for the other designs for the rest of the day, you're going to go ahead and you're going to click Save Preset, and you're going to save this as a new preset. So now when we go back into our presets, we can scroll all the way down. Again, just keep in mind, I have a lot of them in here. So we can scroll all the way down, and now we have this in our saved presets for the future. And this is going to be important because when we save and exit, so we're just going to save and exit this design. We're happy with this. Now let's say we like that design and we want that same design to be applied on the remainder of our posts for that week. Now, when you go into edit template, instead of doing that whole thing all over again, you just simply go into your saved presets. You find that design that you just worked on. Fantastic. And then you save and exit. Makes it super easy for you guys to make changes to all of your posts without having to do it one by one. And this is one of the other tips that I like to give our users, is that we'll just wait for this to save. But you guys now know that your caption and your carousel slides, the copy is different in every single generated post for that day. So your caption for Instagram is not going to be the same as your caption for LinkedIn, for an example. But that being said, I always tell people, if you are taking the time to edit your designs, try to make your design for any given day the same. Why? Because I think it makes it a lot easier for you guys, if you are editing your posts, to just at a glance know, okay, I used this kind of square overlay and red was my main kind of color focus for April 5th. Now for April 6th, I'm going to do a more bubbly overlay, and I'm going to make white the bigger color focus and have red be the text. So it makes it a little bit easier for you to organize your designs that have gone out and know what's gone out, and not accidentally duplicate designs and stuff like that. I also like to create a variety of posts. So I'm going to show you guys at the very end what an ideal week would look like using Rec. But first, what we're going to quickly do is I've just gone ahead and I've created a post here earlier. And the post that I did was just best places to eat in Austin, Texas. Okay. So what I did was I generated that post and then I went ahead and I duplicated it. I duplicated it for the purpose of us just playing around with the post and seeing the possibilities of what you can do from what was generated all the way down to fully customizable based off of what we learned in the editor. So this is our beginner level. This is what was generated. This used your color scheme. This added on an overlay and it added an image that it found was sufficient for this post. So at a glance, if I look at this, I'm like, okay, cool. It's using my color palette. You know, it's talking about places to eat in Austin. Cool. It shows houses. That's fine. You know, it's not a restaurant or anything like that, but nobody's going to see this post and be like, oh my God, how dare you post a house? It's totally fine. If I'm in a pinch and I'm like, I don't want to edit anything, I take a look at that and I'm like, okay, cool, fine. That looks like that could be a house in Austin, Texas. Fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and schedule and approve it and I'm fine. This is zero work done to the post. Now, if we want to take it just one step further and we're like, you know what, I just want to make it a little more relevant. In this one, so this is the exact same post that was generated, but what I did was I went into edit template, I went into the backgrounds, and I just chose a photo of a restaurant. I double clicked it and I made it the background for all of my slides. And now I know that the photo is relevant to what I'm talking about here. Cool. I didn't change the overlays. I didn't change the colors. I didn't do any of that. I just made a quick change to the background and I'm happy with it. Fantastic. So this is one step above the original generated post. Now, let's say I want to take just an additional step. I want to make it just a little more custom. For this one, I went ahead and I edited that original post and I just went through the background images and I found a different restaurant image for each background. So I just kind of alternated through them. And I went ahead and I just changed the overlay and the font on the overlay. So now it's a little different than what was originally generated. It still has that great information in here, but as the reader scrolls through, they can see different types of restaurants, different backgrounds. Cool. And all I did was just click into each individual slide and just simply swap the image for a different restaurant. And then let's say we want to take it just one step further. We have that same post. So with the restaurants in the back of each individual one. But for this one, I just went ahead and I added my headshot. My name's Robert. I've added my headshot here as a sticker and I've just put myself here in the left-hand corner. I've moved my contact information to the right and I just brought it a layer in front of myself. And now I'm like, okay, cool. It's talking about restaurants. It's relevant. It's using my color palette. Plus it has my head on it. Just took me a couple extra clicks to add my headshot to it. And that's that. Then let's say I want to take it one step further than that. For this one, I added my headshot. I did all that same stuff. I changed the colors. And then what I did was in the background uploader, I just went ahead and I uploaded images that are relevant to each of the different restaurants this post is talking about. So it's talking about Franklin's barbecue. I added a barbecue photo. Tacos, I added a taco photo. Pizza, I added pizza. Sushi date nights, added sushi, and then I went back to my restaurants. So this was super easy. I literally just went on Google and I found stock images of these things, uploaded them into the uploader, and then swapped the backgrounds. So again, this is just taking it just one step further and making it just a little bit more relevant. And then what I did was I went into the edit caption and I actually went ahead and I tagged each one of these businesses individually. So it's talking about Franklin barbecue in Austin, Torchy's Tacos, Home Slice Pizza. I went ahead and I actually found their handles on Instagram and I tagged them in the caption. And then I also use this tag button down here. So you can tag other accounts. You can also collaborate with other accounts. You just need to make sure that you're obviously writing the handle in properly. So I just went ahead and I tagged them in here so that when this posts, all of these businesses are going to get a notification about it. And this post is also going to show up in their tagged photos. So you're not only are you posting to your own Instagram, but now people who are checking out these businesses will also be able to see you in the tagged photos. And then another reason for tagging them is because local businesses love the attention. They love the acknowledgement. They like it when, influencers and other people local to their area, talk about them and mention them. And so this just gives you that extra little push to have, Home Slice Pizza see that and be like, oh, cool, we were featured in this, top 4 places to eat in Austin. They're going to share it to their stories or maybe share it to their posts. And now you're reaching people who are local to you even easier without actually having to do much other than mention a local restaurant. So I always say this is just like a fun, easy little way. Could be done with coffee shops, could be done with literally anything. Cool sports teams to see this weekend or games to see and tag them, and just kind of really solidify yourself as a local thought leader. Then the last option, maybe you're like, you know what? I don't want the carousel style post. I just want to upload my own image. I really love the caption that it created for me, but I want to do something super hyper local. So in that case, you can always, with your generated post, you can always click into upload your own content up here. This will actually give you the option to completely scrap the carousel style post, completely bypass the editor and upload any piece of media that you want. So you can upload an image or a video. So here I've gone ahead, I've uploaded a photo of Kyle or Robert at a barbecue spot. Now we can post it. Still got that awesome caption, but it's just a little more personalized to you. So you have those options as well. And then what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you guys what in my ideal world, a full week worth of content would look like using Rec. So I've gone ahead and just generated or created posts for an entire week's worth of content and scheduled them. I have Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter for each of those days. And we're just going to quickly go through each post just to see what we did here. So this first day, what I did was I just generated a carousel style post with Rec. It's talking about home loans. It has my color palette in there, has a different image in each of the backgrounds. Fantastic. Cool. We like this. Awesome. Great. We've got a carousel style post. Then for the following day, what I did was I did a personal post. So here, the other thing you can do on Rec, I'm going to show you guys in 2 seconds. The other thing you can do on Rec is you can actually schedule your own content. So I do know some of our users are already using this, but for those of you who haven't found this feature yet, if you just want to schedule your own images or your own videos, you can very easily go ahead, select the day you want to schedule for. You're going to click into more options and you're going to click upload your own content. When you click upload your own content, it's going to give you a blank slate like this. It's going to automatically default to Instagram, but you can very easily select whichever platform you'd like to post on. So let's say we want to post on these 3 platforms here, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. You can go ahead and write your own caption and upload your own image, and then you can schedule it for the date and time that you'd like. So I went ahead just before this call and I created this for us. So I just quickly uploaded an image of the team and I went ahead and I wrote in this caption. I had a wonderful weekend catching up with my team at the REC conference, learning all about AI and its impact on the real estate industry. So I just really quickly wrote that out. Now, this is one of our latest launches. So this enhance your caption button actually just launched this week. And this will take your caption and enhance it for you. So the same kind of thing, if you guys are using ChatGPT that you're doing on ChatGPT, you can very easily click to enhance your caption. It's going to take it and it's going to tweak it. So let's say I go enhance your caption. So it's going to do its thing. It's going to make it a nice long caption for social media. Just wait for that to pop up. So now it's created just wrapped up an awesome weekend with the team at the REC conference, diving into the future of real estate. Here's how AI is shaking things up and why it's a game changer. So it's going ahead and it's just really outlining some interesting stuff. But let's say I see that and I'm like, you know what? That's not really what I had in mind. I wanted it to be a little bit shorter, or I wanted it to be a little less personal or more personal. You can go ahead and click regenerate this caption and you can choose to make it shorter, more personal, less personal, or you can actually prompt the AI to do something very specific. So we can say something like, make this caption only 3 sentences long. And then you can submit that, and then it's going to redo the caption for you. So now it says, just had a great weekend at the REC conference where we talked about how AI is changing real estate. Now finding a home is easier with smart searches, quick market insights, and virtual tours from your couch. Want to know more about how this can help you find your next place? Let's chat. Perfect. Now we're ready to go with this post. So basically, now after we've done the carousel post, we can very easily do a post like this. That's, more team related. Now I have this going out on all of the socials on the following day. Then on April 15th, I've done the same thing, but with the editor, I've chosen a nice little reel here. So now we've got some video content going out. So as you can see, we've got video content. It's in our color palette. Fantastic. We've got some variety. Then the following day, I'm like, you know what? I love this caption. I don't want to do a carousel post, but I don't really have any photos of my own to upload. For this one, what I did was I just went in to the editor. I simply just removed the additional slides. I removed the overlays and my contact information, and I just chose one of the images in the image library. There are tons in there. You don't have to go out and take your own images. You don't have to find them online or on Pexels. If you want to talk about a gorgeous beach view, you can just take a photo from the library without having to go search for one, remove the overlays, and just upload it as its own static image. So we've done that for the 16th. The 17th, I did a just listed post. So I did that across all of the platforms. So same thing, it's in our color palette. It's this nice little just listed in Austin. For that, I've used the listing feature, which I'm going to show you guys just at the end of this. Then the following day, we popped Kyle into here with the top places to eat in Austin. So again, we've done that with the upload your own content button. So we have another, now we've got this caption that, was optimized by AI, but you've uploaded your own image. So you have that little bit of personal touch going out as well. And then on the final day, what we've done is we've brought a review in from Google or from your website, or maybe it's an email conversation with one of your clients. And what I did was I just simply put an overlay on a design on one slide. I put my headshot right in the front, and I just copied and pasted a review from online, and then just quickly made a little caption. So you can very easily share your reviews in that way, which I do recommend. If you guys aren't sharing your reviews and you have a ton of reviews online on your Google or on your website, you should definitely be sharing those to your social media, because it's just a great way to fill your feed. And it's a great way to show people that you actually have clients and that people actually recommend you without you having to be like, oh, check out my reviews on Google, or, check out my website. They can just very easily find it when they're searching up on social media. So the final thing is for property listings. So the way that I created that listing post was I just used the create a property listing post feature. So through here, I know we're running out of time, so I'm going to make this super quick. Through here, you guys can copy and paste a public facing URL to a listing. So we typically tell people to use Zillow or Realtor.ca, just one of the more common ones, just because our tool works the best pulling the information from those ones. Anything that's password protected or anything that's kind of coded in a way that's a little weird and harder for us to scrape might be a little tricky. So some people's personal websites work with it, some don't. You can definitely give it a try and see. But if it is kind of formatted in a way that's hard for us to pull that information, sometimes it's a little bit harder. So that's why we suggest Zillow or Realtor.ca or .com. But that being said, whatever link you use in here, just please know it's not going to link back to Zillow. It's not going to link back to Realtor.ca. You're not going to have to worry about like, oh, well, now I'm sending my person over to, no, it's not going to link to anything. It's just simply giving us a link so that we can take the photos and take the bedrooms and the bathrooms and all that good information. So that way you're not manually having to create it. Again, we call this the, property listing, the just listed feature, but as you can see, you can change the colors of this in the editor. You can change it to an open house. You can change it to a price improvement. You can add your contact information to here. It's totally customizable. So it doesn't have to say just listed. You can have it say whatever you'd like for it to say. And we've got some templates to choose from in there as well. So we've got that. Okay. And then the final thing was just, I wanted to come back to advanced settings with you guys. So when you're in the generate, remember when we were in advanced settings in the beginning and I showed you guys the default posting time? So you've also got some options down here as well that you can toggle on or off before you get into generations, okay? So now that we've gone through the editor, now you should have a better idea of what these options are. So anything that is toggled on is going to apply to your future generations. So as you come in here, your random presets are going to be those colorful random presets on the left-hand side. So if you toggle that on, it's going to choose from those. If you toggle on saved presets, it's going to choose from all the presets that you've saved, that you've played around with, that you like. I would recommend not using this until you have like 100 plus saved presets. Otherwise, it's only going to pull from those saved presets. So even if you have 20 of them, you're only going to get the same 20 presets over and over. So I would recommend avoiding these ones. I usually tell people toggle on your random backgrounds. It's going to just find a random background to plop in there, and then you can play around with it through there. We are currently in the middle of retagging all those images so that they can be more accurate to you. We do find that the AI has gone a little bit rogue here and there, choosing photos. So now we're actually going through the process of manually tagging them just to say like, this is a beach photo. This is a, a winter photo. This is a mountain. So just bear with us while we do that. They are going to get more and more and more accurate over the next couple of weeks. But I usually tell people toggle on random backgrounds. Saved backgrounds or any of the uploads that you have uploaded manually. So again, unless you have tons to choose from, I would say avoid that. Out the library of 4,000 plus images is definitely going to have more than whatever you've uploaded. So try to avoid that one until and just so you don't have a ton of repetition. Contact information, same thing. If you want your contact information to show up on all your generated posts, you're going to make sure to toggle that on. Entirely up to you. Colors, so you're going to have the ability to toggle your colors on. Remember, so have your colors toggled on before you generate. If your colors are toggled off and you generate, you can't go back to what you've generated and apply your colors to everything. You're going to have to edit them each one by one. So if you want your colors to apply to your generated posts, make sure that this is toggled on. You can see what color palette you have saved. You can see a little sample of it right here. I always suggest to people, keep your text white. Keep your text white. It's going to be what shows up on everything. If your backgrounds are dark, if your overlays are dark, the white text is always, for the most part, 90% of the time is going to look really, really good. If you have black text on here, I just don't think that it looks as nice as we kind of hope. And then you've got your overlays, your accents, your background colors, all that good stuff. So this is going to be your main color palette. Again, this is going to be what your posts generate with. But because you've created all those different varieties of your color palette, that's going to make it easier for you when you go to edit. So this is going to be your, your main color palette, your #1 generation one, but you want to make sure that you have more than that in your editor so that you have a lot of variety to play with when you do edit. Same as hashtags, totally up to you whether or not you want to toggle these on or off. If you go into edit, you can actually add your hashtags one by one, and that will add to the end of each individual caption. Entirely up to you. Hashtags don't hold nearly the weight that they did, again, like 10 years ago. If you're going to hashtag, don't hashtag things like hashtag home. There are thousands of people using that hashtag every single day. It's way too vague. Your post is just going to get lost in a sea of hashtags. It's a throwaway. And don't hashtag something that's so specific that it's like Irma real estate in Austin, Texas, 2025, because nobody's using that. You want a nice little middle. I could talk about hashtags for a long time. We could probably do another call about hashtags specifically, but try to find a nice middle ground, like, Austin living, Austin real estate, Ontario housing market, something like that. Don't do so specific, and don't do so generic. And when in doubt, honestly, don't stress about hashtags. They're not nearly as important as they used to be. So we've got that. And then the last thing is we've just recently, like Mark mentioned, we have recently launched the ability to connect with your business page on LinkedIn. So if you are an admin for a team who has a business page on LinkedIn, now you can connect with that instead of your personal. That being said, if you are an agent, an individual agent, and you're using LinkedIn, my honest opinion is that I don't think you need to be posting to a team or a business page. On LinkedIn, most people, if you are following a business, you're following like TechCrunch or Meta or these like massive, massive corporations, you're not following a real estate team. You're just not. It's not what LinkedIn is really about. The whole advantage of LinkedIn is that you're connecting with individuals. And I think using your own personal LinkedIn for that, you're going to get way further. You're going to be able to make so many more connections way quicker, way easier. Connecting with people on LinkedIn is super easy versus trying to get them to like your LinkedIn page, I think is a little bit harder. So it's entirely up to you. I think it's great if you have an admin who's managing a team, but if you are just posting yourself to LinkedIn, I would avoid creating a LinkedIn page that's like Irma LaFleur real estate, but then you also have Irma LaFleur, the person. You use your personal LinkedIn. That's the whole point of LinkedIn. We've also launched the ability to connect to Go High Level, which is a platform that allows you to connect your blogs. Now, if you are not a Go High Level user, this is not relevant to you. Or if you don't plan on becoming a Go High Level user, this is not relevant to you. We are launching other integrations with other blogging platforms. This one just happened to be the one that had the most demand at the time. I know we have Follow Up Boss on our radar. We've had a lot of people ask for that. We've had a lot of people ask for luxury presence. So those are some other ones that we're looking into. But in the meantime, you can always generate your blogs the same way you would your social media posts. So you just choose a blog. In the generation process, it's going to give you awesome SEO optimized blog. You just go ahead, copy the caption, and then you can bring it into whatever website host or blog hosting platform that you're using super easily. No more paying people hundreds of dollars for blogs. So I think we got everything. I know I talked a little bit fast there. I know we were on a time crunch. So I'm just going to open this up super quick just to see.
I got some rapid fire stuff here.
Okay, cool. Let's go.
Okay, so guys, I've been trying to do your questions here. A couple things that came up. Okay, guys, sorry, a little bit of a tease. You guys have been asking what's up with this market reports tab that Irma has in her corner. It's a feature
I know, I realized that as I was doing it. I was like, oh, darn, they can see that.
If you want to pull it up super quick, guys, this is a couple weeks out, so like don't get super crazy on it. But essentially, we've partnered with data market providers. So this is going to be available in the US first, but essentially you'll be able to turn your content into market reports. So it's going to pull. You'll be able to pull whatever zip code you want, and it'll actually go ahead and pull data for you. So you'll have these kind of templates as your background, and then all of the market data is going to go on top of that. Yes, it's a cool feature. You weren't supposed to see it yet, but little sneak peek for you guys. Once again, as a thank you for everybody, just so you know, we are upcharging for all of this stuff. Obviously, these are cool new features that we have. You guys get all of this stuff grandfathered in. So like no extra charge, Julian. Everything's included with you guys and your subscription. So you guys are going to have full access to this. So don't worry about that, but you will get an update, and we're probably doing an entire workshop specifically on the market reports when they come out. So give us a couple weeks and we'll be there. Irma, sharing content from a specific website. So someone was asking, hey, I want to pull content from a specific website. No, you can't do that, in the sense of when you choose web search, it's going to search for the most relevant websites for you. But what I was just recommending, Irma, your screen's also, if you want to pull up back up the thing, it's kind of like half minimized.
Oh, shoot.
So,
sorry. Oh, I was trying to find a little example of the market reports for you guys. 1 second.
So essentially, what's happening is you guys will, what I would recommend if you want to pull information from a specific website, just copy the information that you want from that website and put it in the theme bar. If there's ever anything that you want that's like super specific, maybe there's a blog that you read or something like that, start by copying the parts that you like and put it in the theme bar. That's going to signal the AI that this is what you want to talk about. It's going to rewrite it and do its own stuff, but it will use that as the information. So it's kind of like a bit of a workaround. Anything you want. And this kind of goes well. Someone was asking about testimonials as well. So one thing, Irma, if you don't mind real quick, if we can get that back up there. So I forget, let me just go here real quick. I think James, you were asking, oh yes, about testimonials. First of all, I would, anytime you want to change your title. So he was saying that he wanted to put his testimonials up. However, the text that was getting generated by AI was always like general testimonials. It wasn't the specific testimonials he wanted. So James, to your question, of course you can edit that. You edit that text in the editor. So once the text comes back on top of your carousel, you'll just go in the editor and choose to edit the text, and you can put in whatever you want there. Additionally, you could just upload a screenshot or an image of that testimonial if you wanted to do that. So just something to consider. And then finally, the same thing is there's two things you could do. You could actually just take the testimonial, throw it into the theme bar, and then you'll start to get something that's more relevant to the specific testimonial. And alternatively, exactly. So right here, what Irma's showing, you can go in there and change that text. So go ahead and type whatever you want instead of what we had generated. But this is a perfect thing here. And then you could imagine, take your headshot, slap it on top of this, change your background, and there you go. Now you've got your testimonial post. So that's one way to look at it. Joe, don't worry, I see you there too. So I'm going to get you. I'm just going to rapid fire these. Changing the topic. Okay, I'll get into changing the topic after the fact. Adding taglines. Irma, I know you guys have a good kind of thing about this. So if someone wants to add a link or a tagline or something that shows up on all the captions, what's the best recommendation on that?
A link or a tagline?
Yeah. So like
That URL?
if you imagine it being a URL, so somebody wants something to show up the same at the bottom of every post. Once again, kind of first thing that comes to my head is you could do things like put it in the hashtag bank because it'll always just kind of pop up there by default. But there's other ways too.
Yeah, right now, I think the best way to do it, to trick it, is to put it in the hashtag bank, or to just edit your caption and add it here. However, that being said, it's actually high on our radar for future to have like a little area kind of like the hashtags where you can add whatever additional information you want. So that is something it's something I think
it's on the radar right now. It's on the roadmap.
Yeah, it's on the roadmap for sure. It's not something that we can do right now without editing the caption or if you just go into here, go into your hashtags, and then add your contact me at blah, 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 save, and then it'll add to the end of it. Just triple check it just to make sure it doesn't start adding the little hashtags for you. I don't think it will, but
yeah. So a little bit of a workaround until we get it, but it is on the radar. So guys, real quick, Joe, I've still got you there. We do have a hard stop in at 2:15 Eastern. So let me just go through these real quick. Advanced settings, we went through that. Blurry images when you guys are uploading, that was something that was on our radar this past week. We've recently put out a fix for it, so it should be better. However, please keep flagging if there's any issues with blurry images. It didn't happen to everybody, but some people were having it. We did put out a fix this week, so when you're uploading your own images, you should no longer have them being blurry. But once again, we're going to be monitoring it. For the stickers are sick because you can do a lot of cool stuff with them. Someone was asking though, hey, can we remove the background? We don't have that functionality built in yet. So I would just recommend going to Canva, remove the background, or I put a link in here for the easiest website that I found. Like, it's very simple. It's a background remover website. It's literally, you just upload your image, it removes the background, and then you have your image. You can then upload it into RealEstateContent.ai. And it's good to go. So Carmine's saying that they were stretched. So that would have been part of the cropping update that we put out. When was this, Carmine? I'll come back to that in a moment. But okay, so that's all the stuff that I've got right now on the rapid fire stuff. Joe, your hand's up. What you got?
All right, let me put this down here. Hang on. All right, so this is my first exposure to the product. I was on the initial call this morning. One thing I didn't catch and understand here is I went through my first batch of posts, and let's just narrow it down to Instagram, for example. Okay, so Irma, great demo. If I look at my post content, it let's say it's like a fun spring things to do in my community, right? Whatever it is, right? And the AI generated all these ideas, and there's a number of different inside the template. There's a number of different content at the bottom. So there's the post, and then there's like these little icons below of the different ones. Is that for real purposes? I mean, so when it goes to post and it auto posts on Friday or Saturday or whatever day I choose, right? I've got one that is a kind of an interest-piquing one, and then it seems like they have a new slide for each of the content pieces that it chooses. But if I schedule this thing for a sequence of Fridays in a row, right, 4 Fridays in a row, it appears that it's posting the same thing every Friday. Is that? I mean, that
So
right.
If I understand what you're saying here, essentially what you're looking at is, Irma, if you want to just pull up any post.
Instagram post.
Yep. So are you talking about down there at the bottom, above template where it shows? Yes. Okay. So that's all. This is all one post.
Yes.
So yeah. So this is the post that's going out, and it's a carousel. So you're gonna post. What do we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different slides in your one post.
Yep.
So
now go to the next day.
Yep.
Because again, I generated 4 weeks in a row of content. It's the same thing, right?
Well, it's not going to be the same post. This is a different post.
Oh boy, it sure looks like it's the same on mine. Okay.
Yeah, but so real quick, if you're generating your content, it's all going to be different topics. Like you would need to go look and see your topic and the content is going to be different. Your template might be the same because you haven't gone in and changed the template. Or if you have your advanced settings set to being the same color or being the same contact info, then they are going to look similar. So that's kind of what Irma was saying, where it's like there's different ways that you can set it up to have more variety. So like right off the bat, if you've generated in one generation, you went ahead and generated all of your Fridays, let's say. So the first Friday, second Friday, third Friday, fourth Friday of the month.
Yep.
And you think they're all looking really similar, you would just go in there and just edit, let's say the third, fourth, and fifth, or the second, third, and fourth Friday. Or alternatively, in the advanced settings, set it up so that you're using random backgrounds or something like that to add more variety to your posts. Some people like it when there's a lot of continuity. They want the same colors, they want the same look. Other people like it more when there's variety. So you'd be using the advanced settings to go ahead and make sure that you're getting kind of like the amount of variety that you want.
Okay.
So Joe, with that being said, I think it might maybe some value, and we do this for everybody, right? So anybody has like some questions they want to hop on and do this, like maybe we can kind of go ahead and dive in a little bit more and kind of show you. We'll take a look at what you've created in your calendar, and then we can just work through your calendar, and then that way kind of show you how to get it set up. If you don't mind just firing us off an email, we can go ahead and get that set up for you.
Support at
RealEstateContent.ai. And then Dennis, I've got you. We've got the last one here real quick. We got to hop off in 3 minutes. Just real quickly, as per usual, please send us an email. We are going to send out a recording of this and reach out anytime. Like we're happy to hop on and kind of go over everything. So if anybody has more questions, we can always go over it. Don't forget also, we do have 6 onboarding sessions per week, 6 live sessions per week, where you'll be able to hop on a call with Kyle. So you can ask any of your questions live and in real time. So if you don't want to wait for an advanced, kind of workshop like this, or if, you don't have time to email us or whatever, you can always go ahead and check to see the live training schedule, which is 6 sessions per week. So we're always there for you. Dennis, what you got?
Go ahead. I'll do it another time.
Are you sure? I got 2 minutes. We can rapid fire something pretty good in 2 minutes.
Okay. I want to do a video testimonial.
A video testimonial. Okay, so that's going to be tough to do within RealEstateContent.ai. What you would do is probably use a different tool to actually go ahead, create the video testimonial. But once you have the video created, you can upload it for scheduling into RealEstateContent.ai, and you can have it do your caption for you and all of that type of stuff.
Okay, I do have some already done.
Fantastic. So what you would do is, Irms, maybe just super quick, if you click on the more options, it's kind of where we were at. So once you've got your video already done, you would just go upload your own content, and then you'll go click upload your own content there, and then you'll be able to upload your video. And then now, because we have the new paste caption, you can just go ahead literally and be like, hey, I want you to write a caption about this testimonial, and then just copy the testimonial. And then it'll actually go ahead and generate your caption for you to match the testimonial that you have. Similar, James, that might be something that works for you as well, too.
Thank you.
Cool.
I also, you guys purposefully uploaded this little market reports photo so that you can see what you can expect when it launches.
So guys, listen, hopefully you found this helpful. We're trying to do more and more of these. We want to have a resource center also where it literally has essentially all of our videos that are recorded there. But please reach out to us. We're here all the time. Update emails go out every single Friday on feature updates. Things that you'll probably see coming down the pipe sooner rather than later are going to be the Canva integration and the market reports. So those are kind of the new big things. And then we have a ton of little things, just like little fixes here, little fixes there. But we really appreciate you guys. As we said, everybody on here already, these are all users. So you're all using us. you all have locked in pricing. So as our stuff goes in, you know, you're always never have to worry about anything else. So all you have to do is get excited about the new features. You don't have to worry about, oh, how much extra is it? It's all just new feature stuff for you guys. Okay. So thank you guys so much. We're going to fire off. We're going to go ahead and fire off the invite for you, or the Zoom recording. Take care, everybody.
So thanks, guys. See ya. Have a good day and a good weekend.